on. I'm chewing some pizza. Sorry. And I was reading your comments. Yes. Most of you got the irony of the fact that a film about acoustics is a silent film. But you gotta, the visuals in that film were so good. Let me adjust my color a little bit. Is that better? Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Anyways. Yeah, that lathe that was cutting the acetate, the marching band footage, all that beautiful animation. Yeah, I love a film like that. Just so great. I'll take a animated film, even if it's silent, if it has really cool stuff like that. Anyways, seems like today, being Monday, welcome everybody. And I'm Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime streaming show where we watch old 16mm films. Today is the day that we learn how to multiply fractions. So, enjoy.
Are in groups. Number which we are going to multiply how many things there are in one group. The number we multiply by tells us how many groups like that we have. Suppose we have the problem 3 times 2. 2 is multiplying. If we are talking about baby chicks, it means that there are 2 chicks in each group. 3 is the number we are multiplying by. It tells us that there are 3 groups. 3 times 2 baby chicks equals 6 baby chicks. Suppose our problem is 2 times 4, and we're talking about marbles. We know that there are 4 marbles in one group, and we have 2 groups. 2 times 4 equals 8. If the problem is 1 times 4, we know that we have our group only one time. 1 times 4 equals 4. Now suppose the problem is 1/2 times 4. How many times do we have this group? We do not have it even one time. We have it only 1/2 a time. So the first thing we must do is divide the group into 2 parts. One of those parts is our answer. 1/2 times 4 equals 2. Suppose our group is 3 discs, and we multiply it by 1/2. The number we are multiplying by is a fraction. The denominator of that fraction is 2. So, we divide our group into 2 parts. Our numerator is 1, so we have only one of those parts in our answer. Our answer is 1/2, or 3/2. Now suppose the number we are multiplying is not a whole number, but is a fraction, such as 1/2. Let's make our problem 1/3 times 1/2. 1/2 is our whole group now. How many times do we have it? Not even one time. We have it only 1/3 of a time. The denominator of the fraction we are multiplying by is 3. So, we have to divide 1/2 into 3 parts. Our numerator is 1, so we have only one of those parts in our answer. Our answer is one of those parts. But how large are those parts? Let's see. Here is our half, which we divided into 3 parts. There is the other half, which would make a complete whole. If we divide that into 3 parts also, we can see the 6 parts in the whole thing. So we know that our parts are 6. And our answer is 1/6. But we cannot work all of our problems by cutting up discs and comparing the size of the parts. We do not have to. There's an easy rule for multiplying fractions. Let's look at the problem we have just worked and discover the rule for ourselves. By cutting up discs, we just saw that 1/3 times 1/2 equals 1/6. We can see that we will have the denominator of the answer if we multiply the denominators of the two fractions in our problem together. 3 times 2 equals 6. We know that 1 times 1 equals 1. So, if we multiply the numerators of our problem together, we will have the numerator of our answer. Let's do that again. If we multiply the denominators of our fractions together, we have the denominator of our answer. If we multiply the numerators of our fractions together, we have the numerator of our answer. That is our rule. It's an easy one to remember. Let's look at our disk now. We will discover why the rule is so handy. We will take the problem 1/2 times 3/4. First, let's try to work the problem without using the rule. We will work it the way we did it first, by just finding 1/2 of our group. Here's our group. It's 3/4. If we want to find half of it, we divide it into 2 parts. We know that one of those parts is our answer. One of the parts is this much, but we cannot write it as a fraction the way it is. The parts are not the same size, and there's nothing to tell us the size of the parts unless we happen to remember them. Our rule does things differently. Here's our problem again. This time we're going to use the rule. The fraction we are going to multiply is 3/4. We are going to multiply it by 1/2. Our rule tells us to multiply the denominators together. What happens when you multiply these denominators together? The original pieces were fourths. Now they are 2 times as small. Two times 4 equals 8. So now our parts are 8ths. Then we multiply the numerators together. There were 3 parts to start with. The numerator of 1/2 tells us to take 1 part from each of the 3 original pieces. So we have 1 times 3, or 3 parts, for the answer. Our answer is 3/8. You can see that the rule is an easy way to find the answer. Now that we have found our rule and understand it, let's use it to work another problem. Suppose we have the fraction 4/5, and we wish to multiply it by 2/3. Our group is 4/5. We are going to multiply it by 2/3 according to our rule. The denominator of the fraction we are multiplying by is 3. That means that we will divide each part of our group into 3 pieces. The parts were fifths. These new pieces are 3 times as small. 3 times 5 equals 15. So the new pieces are 15ths. The numerator of the fraction we are multiplying by is 2. So our answer will have 2 pieces from each of the original 4 parts. Two times 4 equals 8. So there will be 8 of the new pieces in our answer. Our answer is 8/15. Now let's use the rule to work a problem at home. Johnny volunteered to paint the new backyard fence. He chose the paint himself and started painting at 1 o'clock. After he had painted 1 hour, his mother stopped him because she didn't like the color he was using. He measured the part he had painted and found that it was 5/8 of the back fence. The next day, he started over again. This time he used white paint. At the end of 3/4 of an hour, he stopped to go on an errand. Now, if he had painted at the same speed on both days, what fraction of the fence had he painted white when he stopped? He had been able to paint 5/8 of the fence in 1 hour. In 3/4 of an hour, he would have painted 3/4 of 5/8 of the fence. How much is 3/4 times 5/8? Fifteen 30-seconds of the fence has painted white.
Window. There it is. Yeah, you know, pizza, like division. Yeah, that's why I think the fractions kind of came up. All right, so behind me is a film scanner. We got hooked up to the internet via a series of tubes and pipes. So we've got a film setup called Men of the Treasury, which I haven't seen, so I'm not quite sure what this is. It's educational, probably, given it came from a school. But yeah, let's see. Enjoy.
Today, with the national income at its highest level in history, with the public debt many times greater than ever before in peacetime, the functions of the United States Treasury Department are of increasing importance in the affairs of the nation and the world. The Treasury is charged by Congress with collecting and dispersing public funds, and with all the work of financing a great government whose commitments are worldwide. In its work, it touches upon the lives of all Americans. But that the Treasury Department maintains under Secretary Edward H. Foley, Jr., one of the largest bodies of enforcement officers in the federal government, few law-abiding citizens are aware. Of the Treasury's 6 enforcement agencies, oldest is that of the Bureau of Customs, which is responsible for collecting duties on merchandise imported into the U.S. All goods must be classified and appraised before duties can be assessed, a task which is sometimes baffling.
The way I figure this piece is just 40 pounds of iron.
I think it's an original, Joe. The invoice says it's an original work of art valued at $3,500.
Art, then it's duty free.
One of the major jobs of customs is the apprehension of smugglers, both professional and amateur.
Are you sure you've declared all your dutiable articles, madam?
Why, certainly, Inspector.
I don't believe you've declared this foreign necklace, did you, madam?
Why, that's purely an oversight, Inspector. Just tell me what the duty is. I'll pay it gladly.
I'm afraid there won't be just a duty, madam.
You're also liable to a heavy fine for smuggling. Will you come with me, please?
Strictly undercover is the Treasury's Bureau of Narcotics, whose never-ending job is to combat dope peddling.
You remember Nick Mazurki?
Sure, I remember him.
Well, he's out of the penitentiary now. I have a tip that he's back peddling again. I want you fellows to go after him. Tail him, find out where he's getting his stuff.
Okay.
Through experience in the shadowing of suspected dope peddlers, Treasury agents come to know their hangouts and their usual patterns of operation. Agents know that peddlers buy their supplies through dealers, who often operate a legitimate business as a front. To throw off suspicion, dope is usually planted at a safe distance, but within easy reach of the dealer's blind.
Federal narcotic agents, boys.
Who guard the executive mansion are part of yet another Treasury agency, the famed Secret Service, whose foremost duty is protecting the President of the United States and his family. Secret Service men investigate all threatening or suspicious letters to the Chief Executive or to members of his cabinet. Though such letters are almost always sent anonymously, tracing them to their sources and investigating the senders, people who are mentally unbalanced.
Better check these prints. Look like old Poison Pen's at it again.
Whenever a public appearance is made by the President, 3 of whose predecessors have been assassinated, he travels under the protection of Secret Service men over a route they have thoroughly inspected in advance to guard against attack. To banks, it offers instruction in how to detect spurious money. Though counterfeiters frequently achieve a high degree of skill in imitating currency, there are always minute differences obvious to the trained eye which make detection possible. But Secret Service can offer no protection to immigrants who, in attempting to convert their holdings into U.S. currency, have been victimized by European counterfeiters.
How about this? Tough luck, fella. The stuff's all counterfeit. Understand? Money no good. No good.
No, you're right.
Biggest job of Secret Service today, a full 80% of its work, centers around the wholesale theft of veterans' checks and other government payments. In the past year alone, mailbox looters have stolen government checks totaling $2 million. Many crooks, adept at forging identification papers, are taking up this means of making easy money. Stolen checks are most easily converted into money at public check cashing agencies or at stores. But today's Secret Service, keeping sharp watch on such places, is making it increasingly hazardous for the crooks.
Secret Service. I want to talk to you inside. Huh? What's this all about? Something wrong? Oh, that's my check. Look, here's my identification.
Come on.
But I haven't done anything wrong. Honest, mister, I haven't done anything wrong.
Between the Treasury Department's various enforcement units, the closest cooperation prevails. A single case may involve the Alcohol Tax Unit, the Intelligence Unit, and the Coast Guard, which in peacetime is a Treasury enforcement agency. Typical in the Alcohol Tax Unit's files is a case which began one day when a fisherman took his troubles to his local police chief.
I went up to my favorite fishing stream. My fish lying around dead. The gills are all closed up, like they couldn't breathe.
This might be something for the alcohol tax boys. You know, when bootleggers dump their mash in a stream, it kills the fish.
A call from the police chief to the Alcohol Tax Unit set off a chain of investigation. A regional office of the Alcohol Tax Unit alerted other Treasury enforcement officials, and a Coast Guard plane was dispatched to reconnoiter the neighborhood the fisherman made his discovery. Suspicion centered on a backcountry farm, which Treasury agents found was the center of unusual activities. A few days later, a stranger showed up looking for the farm. Ostensibly, he was a new hand sent out from town.
All right. Looks up to me. You know how to mix a sweet?
Yeah, sure. 65 to 5.
I'll call you Sal. My name's Pete. What are you junk inside?
Check.
Inside the barn, the Treasury undercover man saw a flourishing bootleg still with a daily capacity of 500 gallons of 190 proof. Its operations represented a loss to the U.S. government of over $7,000 a day in evaded alcohol tax revenues. By shortwave radio, the undercover man kept in touch with fellow agents. On the strength of detailed reports turned in by the agents, a raid was planned at headquarters. A raid as expertly prepared and carefully timed as a military operation. But of most direct concern to the average citizen is the Treasury Department's huge job of collecting some $30 billion a year in income taxes. From offices throughout the land, the Intelligence Unit, collaborating with other divisions of Internal Revenue, is continually investigating suspected cases of tax fraud.
Now this item you deduct as personal promotion. Do you mind explaining that?
Not at all, not at all. Parties, receptions, sorries, in fact. A girl like I has to keep up with the Broadway crowd.
But really, isn't $5,000 a year a pretty big percentage of what you earned last year?
My dear man, if an artiste doesn't keep up a front, word gets round in the nightclubs that she's slipping, and they all forget about her.
Through many sources, tax evaders become known. One source is banks, which are required by Treasury regulations to notify the government when any extraordinary cash transaction comes to their attention. When Richard Schroeder, a wholesale meat dealer in New York City, who had never before deposited over $1,000 a week, began depositing up to $10,000, mostly in big bills, his bank manager was under obligation to report this fact to the Federal Reserve. Transmission of this information to the Treasury Department's Intelligence Unit was the signal for T-men to go into action. At Intelligence Unit headquarters in New York City, an agent was immediately assigned to find out how the meat dealer was able to make such unusual deposits. A Treasury agent may require anyone to substantiate his income tax return on demand. In Schroeder's case, though his sudden large deposits were not taxable until the following March, a look at his books was enough to convince the government agents that further investigation centering on his past activities was warranted. Out of this investigation, it developed that Schroeder had for years maintained a big account at another bank. It was also discovered that he had a sizable and active account with us. On the evidence uncovered by the Intelligence Unit, Schroeder was charged with systematically evading taxes on the exorbitant profits he'd been making on meats for the past 3 years. And Schroeder, turning to his lawyer, discovered the full extent of his predicament.
But Ed, you've got to get me out of this.
There's not much I can do.
I just couldn't face my wife or kids.
Dick, I advise you to be sure to report every nickel of your income. When will you fellas learn that you can't evade the long arm of Uncle Sam?
Today, the Treasury's 6 law enforcement agencies, waging their vigilant and unceasing campaign against those who would cheat the government, stand as the guarantors of fair play for the law-abiding taxpayer, and as chief guardian of the huge revenues which the nation must have to run Uncle Sam's business. Time marches on.
I gotta say, that's one of the most action-packed marches of time that I've seen. There's other ones that we have shown in the past, and they all have that same narrator who's talking like this, and everything's exciting and important, and there's music that's really dramatic. But normally it's like, you know, really a bunch of boring B-roll. Occasionally there's some fictionalized stuff, but it's, you know, putting grandpa in the old folks home, or you know, stuff like, not like bootleggers and you know, car chases and, you know, stuff like that. So that one was awesome, and I had not seen it. So there's, I don't know, 24,000 films that we still have to watch, and so there's lots of gems like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. This next film we scanned. And there were some soundtrack issues, so there's a little sound. But this is all about Alexander and how and why he had a good day. Enjoy. the soundtrack here. Maybe not. Maybe I pulled the wrong one. Okay. This one is Cage Fury and has lots of animals and animal tamers.
Morning.
Oh, there it is.
Time for Alexander to get up. He had a good rest. Now he can begin the day. And Alexander always has a good day. Skipper's up, too. He's Alexander's dog. Now, why would a dog wear a sailor's cap? Well, just take a look at Alexander's room. Alexander wants to be a sailor when he grows up, and Skipper is his first mate. Skipper is lucky to have a master who takes good care of him. And Alexander takes good care of himself, too. Takes time to make sure he's neat and clean. Always combs his hair. Sometimes it's hard to do. But the most important health habit Alexander has learned is to eat a good breakfast every morning for energy. He needs energy to get to school and to learn his lesson. It's the beginning of another good day for Alexander. Mother is so proud of him. But it wasn't always a good day for Alexander. Why, Mother remembers a time not too long ago when Alexander never had a good day. Why, Skipper had to get him out of bed every morning. Poor Alexander never had time to do anything in the morning. Never had time to wash. Never had time to eat his breakfast. Never had time to listen to his parents. They wondered what kind of a sailor Alexander would be. Probably a very small, tired, or maybe a mean man of the sea, cranky and dirty. Alexander was impossible. He would trudge along to school, walking as slowly as a snail. His friends would have a good day, skipping and jumping along on their way to school. Alexander never could do that. No energy. Alexander was too tired. Oh, joined the Navy. Oh, if Alexander only could. This was his fondest dream. And what adventures he might have. He might harpoon a whale. Or use a telescope. Or discover his very own island. Always daydreaming about being a sailor, he thought of nothing else. Not even a traffic light. Or a car. Watch out, Alexander! That was a close one. Alexander was never careful. And it seemed he never learned. He daydreamed in school, too. Sometimes he imagined Miss Fisher, his teacher, as the captain of a big ship, a ship sailing to Africa, or maybe Japan. Do you wonder why Alexander never had a good day in school? Miss Fisher felt sorry for him. She thought, how can he have a good day? He never gets proper rest, good food, or learns his lessons. No one liked to listen to him read because he did such a poor job. Why, he even had trouble writing his name. Of course, it is rather long, but he could have done it if he had really tried. And when Miss Fisher asked a question, most everyone knew the answer, except Alexander. He never had a good day. And what did Alexander do after school? Did he play, study, read? No. He had just enough energy after dinner to watch television. One night, Alexander was so tired and sleepy that he didn't even know what program he was watching. It looked like a little boy on a raft. He had to blink to make sure. His eyes could hardly stay open. Why, it was a little boy. It was Alexander, shipwrecked and all alone on the ocean. Look, an island. Never before had Alexander seen such a place. Healthland. What kind of a place was Healthland? It was here he met Captain Goodlife, a fine man who knew all about the things that make up a good day. Captain Goodlife had many sailors under his command. They were all bright and healthy. They were learning all the things that made up a good day. Doing their work well was part of a good day. Some painted the ship, while others swabbed the deck. Being safe was part of a good day. Getting plenty of rest was part of a good day. And they certainly got more rest than Alexander. And when the bosun's whistle blew in the morning, the sailors jumped out of bed to begin their day promptly. Neatness was part of their day. And cleanliness was part of their day. They ate in the largest dining room Alexander had ever seen. The sailors all began their day with a good breakfast. Going to school was part of their day, too. A school for sailors? Yes, here they learned problems about ships and the sea. They learned how to keep a log, a record of everything that happens on a ship. Alexander never studied this hard in school. After school, the sailors had time for play and exercise. Fun was part of their day, too. The gym in Healthland had almost everything from a large swimming pool to ropes for climbing. When Alexander tried it, it was hard for him to climb up, but easy for him to get down. A sailor and the captain helped Alexander up. The captain said he was a good sport. When it was time to go, Alexander didn't want to leave. He had spent a good day in Healthland. But he knew he had to go back to his parents, skipper, and to school. Where was Alexander now? Watching television? Yes. Why, it must have been... It was. Alexander's visit to Healthland was only a dream. But Alexander still hated the idea of going to bed. Couldn't he remember what he learned in Healthland? But the next morning, he did wake up by himself. A good way to start the day. Now he had more time to eat breakfast, but he still hadn't bothered to comb his hair. But Mother and Dad were pleased that at least Alexander was eating a good breakfast, and good food gave him more energy, energy that always helps to start a good day. Safety is part of a good day, too. But he still daydreamed in school. But the next day he didn't, and he missed only one arithmetic problem. Miss Fisher couldn't believe it. Was Alexander improving? Alexander even did well at show and tell. He showed how a sailor swabs the deck, how a sailor salutes an officer. Little by little, Alexander's days began to get better. He played with his friends every day after school. What fun Alexander began to have. At dinner, he would tell his parents what he did in school during the day. At last, it seemed that every day was a good day for Alexander. Now, after a busy day, he's always ready for a good night's rest. Because a good night's rest is the best way to start another good day.
So I had an audio filter on there that was trying to reduce the noise, and I think it actually made things worse. So I apologize for that. But I love that kind of semi-animation. It's almost animated. It seems like that showed up a lot in local TV commercials and in snipes at drive-ins and theaters for intermission snacks and food. Just barely animated. Just a little bit of here, a little bit of there. Pretty great. All right, so I have another film set up on the... Oh, wrong way. The film scanner. I'm excited that I'm here and you're also open to me kind of pulling stuff off the shelves that I haven't seen yet. You know, pretty awesome that we can do that. And this next film is, I'm hoping it could go either way, and I'll leave this to you to figure out. One is, it's called Senior Power, so it's either high school seniors or senior citizens. But either way, power, Senior Power, such a provocative title. Will it hold up compared to T-Men of the Treasury Department? Let's see. Enjoy.
Everybody okay?
No, I'm not. Now, how many times do we have to do this in order for us to get this right?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I just got carried away. I've never done anything like this before.
Yeah, that's obvious.
Oh, where does it hurt? I'm sure I could fix it.
Don't touch me. Tom, I want to talk to you. Listen, everything's going to be okay. It'll be perfect next time.
Next time my just beat the out of me.
Oh, please, trust me, baby, trust me. Sergeant Courtney, why don't you show Mrs. Sims here how to handle her purse?
She doesn't need any help.
Why don't you have the lady play the mugger? She'd be perfect.
Will you get off my back? Everybody wants to be a comedian.
Well, I'm serious. That was the third take. When she forgets again, I'm not responsible for my actions.
You wouldn't hit her.
Only in self-defense.
How many times have you had your purse snatched?
twice.
You should know more than anybody. It doesn't happen that way.
I mean, if she reacts like that to a real purse snatcher, somebody's going to get hurt. And he won't be him.
This time, you show me what you're supposed to do.
Well, when I carry my purse, I'm supposed to carry it upside down like this. And then when a purse snatcher comes along, I don't resist. I just open the catch and let everything fall out. And then I sit down and I blow the whistle to scare him away and blow the whistle on crime.
That's right. And then you sit down before you get knocked down. It's a lot safer. You carry a lot of stuff in your purse, Mrs. Sims. Looks like they're rehearsed. Are you ready?
Okay, we're going to take the first scene from the top, everybody. One more time. You, go lurk in the hallway.
It's rare when anyone gets hurt in the movies, but street crimes are very much for real. Assaults, purse snatchings, muggings, robberies. Each year there are more violent crimes. Each year there are more victims, more statistics. Remember, control those instincts. The criminal thinks that senior citizens are an easy target, but you don't have to be. There are simple techniques that you can learn, techniques like the upside-down purse and the whistle, that can keep you from being this year's victim. Techniques that can keep you from becoming a statistic. You don't have to learn kung fu or karate or any of those things, but you should master these simple, non-physical safeguards and make them part of your lifestyle, part of your everyday habit pattern. Mrs. Sims, you're the expert on purse snatching.
Right, twice this year. Once even in broad daylight in the supermarket. I didn't even see him take my purse out of the shopping cart.
Most purse snatchers like to work where there are no witnesses. But there are always a few in every city who know that women often leave their purses unattended while they're doing the shopping. Now, first of all, you probably don't need your purse while you're doing the marketing. You can keep your wallet and your keys safely in your pocket. But if you do need your purse, well, Mrs. Sims has a very interesting way of handling that problem.
Could I trouble you to lift a bag of kitty litter into my cart for me?
Sure thing. Where is it?
It's right where it always is.
Could you show me? I'm new here.
Oh, hey, that's my bag. That's my cart. Goodness, go get it.
Sure thing.
Oh, what a mess.
Clever trick, huh? Actually, it would be a lot better if you could just keep your wallet and your keys in your pocket and avoid that problem altogether.
Don't forget that burglary and prowlers are always a threat. A deadbolt lock and a little bit of caution provides good home security.
I always lock my house, and I close all the windows when I'm away. When I'm home, the doors are locked, and the windows that are open are on a jam lock. But they still try. Hello, Sheriff's Department. I want to report a...
I'm sorry, sir. I can't hear you for all the barking.
Quiet, boy. Quiet. I want to report a prowler at 8163 Oakshire Drive.
Fine, sir. We'll have a car sent right out.
Ever since I decided to keep the house locked and use that barking dog, I haven't been burglarized. At least, not while I'm at home.
Everyone should keep their home locked at all times. An unlocked door or window is simply an invitation to a criminal. Home security is really personal security. You're protecting yourself as well as your hard-earned possessions and also those irreplaceable family mementos.
A common problem for senior citizens is the obscene phone call.
I want to take off your clothes and I want
It's for you, Mother.
Oh, you have no idea how old women excite me. Don't you just love it when I call? You know, I'm also pretty good in the morning. We've never done that. How about
Thank you.
That's another good way to blow the whistle on crime. It's also one of your best defenses. But please don't forget us. And don't forget the telephone company. If you're bothered by obscene phone calls, be sure and report them.
You know, criminals wait until the time is right. They plan their crimes. We used to have problems in the days people would bring their Social Security checks into the bank, but not anymore. Not so long as they follow our plan and if people stick together. Remember, Mr. Boyle, what happened to you?
Boy, do I remember.
Good morning. How are you today, Mrs. Sims?
At my age, don't ask.
You look great.
Well, as a matter of fact, I feel fine. I'd like a low cash of 120 and 2 tens would be all right.
Certainly. I can take you over here. My first customer of the day.
Keep real bankers hours. Wish I had your job.
Morning, Ann.
Thank you.
Put it in a safe place.
I know. Stash it. Don't flash it. Have you seen Betty Lyons?
Isn't that Mrs. Lyons over by the coffee?
Yeah, I believe you're right. Well, see you next time.
Bye. Good morning.
Good morning.
20, 40, 60, 80. Here you go.
Thank you.
Morning, Betty.
Morning.
Ann, I thought I might walk you home. You know you're not supposed to leave the bank alone on Social Security Day.
Oh, I'll be all right, Henry. Betty and I are waiting for Jean, and we're going shopping.
All right. Some other time, maybe. Bye. Bye, Betty.
Bye. Just another conquest.
There he is now. Give me the gun.
Hey, man, go easy with that thing, okay?
Okay. You just drive. I'll take care of the old man. Hey, Pops, give me your wallet.
What?
You heard me, the wallet, now.
Well, what'd we get? You can't trust anyone over 30.
Thank you. Have a good day.
I've just been robbed.
Are you all right?
I'm fine. Give me a pencil, will you, please, before I forget the number?
I'll be right back.
UJA 604, California. I've got a description of the car, and they've got a gun.
Are you sure you're all right?
I never felt better. I just want to nail those punks.
Sheriff's Department? I'd like to report a robbery. Hold on.
Sheriff, they're in a blue Plymouth. That's right, and it's a California license plate. UJA 604.
Can you believe that? We better have a talk with him. I'll run the plate.
Attention all units, a shooting just occurred at 106 Elm, perpetrated by 2 male whites in a 66 blue Plymouth, license Union John Adams 604. Massey, northbound Croft. Suspect's armed with a blue steel revolver.
That's it.
Is that it?
Hollywood 91, 1033. We are following possible suspects, 211 suspects. Request 1 unit backup. Eastbound on Cloverdale.
Hang on to this, will you? Don't panic, but the fuzz is behind us. Don't turn around, stupid. All right, buddy. Let's see how well you can drive.
Okay, they're gonna run.
Let's go.
Hollywood 91, we are in pursuit. We are southbound on Oak Ridge, 10,000 block. Hollywood 91. Hollywood 91, suspect vehicle now eastbound on Long Ridge, 91.
Come on, you son of a...
Freeze! One in the car! Get the driver! Freeze! Drop the gun!
But you know something? If I didn't show my money, none of that would have happened.
And you'd have been a lot safer if you hadn't left the bank alone.
Believe me, I tried. I always carried 2 wallets. One real, one loaded with junk ID cards, phony money. And I want to tell you something. Real wallet or phony wallet, I was going to give him anything he wanted.
That's right, Mr. Boyle. You never want to argue when your safety's at stake. You did the right thing, Mr. Boyle. You got the license number and you call for help. Remember, your best defense is to think it can happen to you, and then develop a plan using simple, everyday techniques for your protection. Never walk alone at night. Purse snatchers use a surprise attack, but so can you. If you're confronted by one, sit down before he knocks you down, and use a whistle to call for help. Keep your defense up, no matter where you are. Remember, home security is personal security.
At 81, 63.
Hurt the caller's ears, not your own. Don't advertise how much money you have. When you go to the bank, try not to go or leave alone.
Bye, Betty. Bye.
I've just been robbed. Are you all right?
Oh, I never...
Both the bank and law enforcement are there to protect you. Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Hold on.
Sheriff, you're in a blue Plymouth. That's right. It's a California license plate. UJA 604.
You've all had a long lifetime of experience, and your brains can beat their brawn. When you make the criminal's job more difficult, you help all of us blow the whistle on crime.
And fade to black.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Good night.
Good night.
I'll see you next week.
Okay.
Good night, gentlemen.
Good night.
Ann?
Oh, Henry, you scared me.
Ann, you know you're not supposed to be out alone at night.
My protector.
Oh,
And I get some real money. How about coffee?
Best offer I've had all day.
I would like to say that I planned all of those chases and but I didn't. I did not plan any of that. Those films were really pulled at random. I just happened to be shelving something and I was like, oh, Senior Power. Yeah, I haven't seen it, I don't think. And likewise for T-Men of the Treasury Department. Man, they delivered. And yeah, Senior Power was awesome. Really awesome. I should, when I start doing live shows again, I think I might have a awesome senior citizens show. Show that and a Rose by any other name. Yeah. Thank you, Kevin, for the coffee. One way you can reward AV Geeks for those random, exciting things is to buy us coffee. Go to ko-fi.com/avgeeks. Also, just hitting the thumbs up and the like button. I mean, it's like a simple thing. And you might have done it in the past. Just do it. It's a great way to counterbalance all the copyright things that I'm running into with YouTube and Facebook. And, at some point, I might not be allowed to show on those anymore because of music and because of weird foreign stuff. And I want to still keep showing stuff, so we just have to kind of figure out where we're all going to convene when YouTube decides. Now, we're done. We're done with that guy. And they have done that, basically. They basically said, yeah, you can't monetize your channel anymore because we just don't like you. So hitting that thumbs up button is a way to say that at least somebody likes me. All right, did that sound desperate? I didn't mean to. But thanks again for tuning in. Yeah, Senior Power, that was pretty great. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your day, and we'll be back again tomorrow. I can't guarantee tomorrow's going to be as exciting, but who knows, man? Maybe I'm hitting like a where I'm pulling a bunch of films that have car chases in them. I don't know. Anyways, we will see you tomorrow. Everybody, take care. Bye.